Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at the K&S WRESTLEFEST in Essington, PA, the Ramada Inn. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to be completely damaged.
Completely damaged! Completely damaged!
Damaged fans, welcome to Completely Damaged. I'm here with Bay. Bay, tell the fans out there about the new CompletelyDamaged.com.
CompletelyDamaged.com with a friendly face. Which face will be friendlier? Will it be mine? Will it be his? Could it be the blue guy? You never know what friendly face will be showing up on CompletelyDamaged.com.
That's right, we have blogs, videos, and you never know what else is going to be coming. We got pictures coming out, everything.
Did you say blondes or blogs?
Well, hopefully both.
Winning!
Woo! So you know what, guys? Let's get started here at Completely
Damaged.
Damaged fans, welcome back. We're here with Missy Sampson and the one and only Heidi Lee Morgan.
That's right, the number one Heidi Lee, one and only. Get it straight.
Now, I heard she actually was one of your trainers.
She was. I went to do a show, and it was well before I ever should have been put into a ring at all. And I was supposed to work Heidi, but unfortunately, it literally was the week after Heidi broke her back. And looking back, as bad as I was, thank God I didn't have to be in a ring with you. But and the match was god-awful. But Heidi was ringside, and Heidi came back in the locker room after my match, and she said, look, I see that you have a passion for this, that you want to do this. She goes, look, my parents have a ring out back of their house. We live in New Jersey. Here's my phone number. Give me a call. You can come up once, twice a week. She's like, I'll work out with you. And she did. And she did, out of the kindness of our heart. So the fact that I've lasted 16 years goes to this woman right here who straightened my ass out early.
Well, I thank you very much for that, and I am humbled. And I look at it this way. I was fortunate enough to work with the best women in the industry. I am the last of Moolah's regime. I was able to work out and get my butt beat by Wendy Richter, Medusa, Debbie Combs, Judy Martin, Leilani Kai, and I've worked out with some incredible women wrestlers, and the least I could have done, and if I'm not mistaken, I was still wearing my brace.
You were.
And I would still get into the ring and work out with her because everyone needs a helping hand, and I am so glad that you are passing it forward as well, because it's very important. It really is. Aww.
Yeah, one of the sickest things I think I've ever seen in a ring is we're training. She's got this, because she had a broken back, she's got this brace on her back, and she pulls out a mattress. Now, the ring is on the floor, so it's got no give anyway. And she goes, all right, this is how you have to do this. And whatever we were doing, in order to do it, you had to take a back bump. And I thought she would just kind of like walk it through and go, okay, and here's where you bump. No. She goes, boom, takes a back bump, broken back in a back brace. I literally,
Yeah.
I don't know what she was trying to teach me, because I think
that was on my behalf.
I think I turned around and almost threw up. I was like, all I could think of was her back, and I was like, don't do that anymore. And it was funny, because after that, you brought in some guy to take all the bumps for you.
Yeah, I did.
To show me.
Normally, and back in those days, I would use Artie Palmer was my sparring buddy, so I would bring him in, and
I
he
thought
would
it was
take-
Artie.
That's my husband,
That's
Artie
her
Palmer.
husband,
I
that's
met
right.
Heidi through Artie Palmer. She
Sure did, and she trained in our gym as well.
I did,
Yeah.
and you know what? She kicked my ass. This is the only person here who's smaller than me that really legitimately kicked my ass.
Well, you have to keep them in line. I would probably run now, but back in the day, no, you
Right.
got to keep them in line.
She was good at that. She was good at keeping us all in line.
She
Hey, they kept me. Moolah kept me in line. Judy Martin kept me in line. Leilani kept me in line. So you have no choice but to keep the new ones and younger ones in line.
Now, Heidi, what inspired you to become a professional wrestler?
Through teenage bodybuilding, and my father used to be a wrestler back in the early 70s. He was one of the original Little Abners and Crazy Boy Morgan, and through that and through my bodybuilding is what inspired me to go into wrestling.
And what are your thoughts on the business today?
It's come a long way. I like to see that the women are being used more. I like to see that they're actually talented, because back in my day, either you had talent or you had looks, and it was very rare to see a combination of both. So I have to give kudos off to the ladies today, and then for persevering too.
Now, Missy, a lot of people don't know this, but you and I actually met a long time ago at World One when I didn't know anything about it. You are. I didn't know anything about the business, and we met at the bowling alley, and you were giving me flyers to hand out for the street team.
Yep.
And what inspired?
You wanted to help out any way that you could, and you offered to do anything that I asked you to do. So I did what we should do when somebody says that. I handed them flyers and said, we have a show coming up, hand out flyers.
Like what you did back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. The way it was passed to me, I passed to you.
Right.
Hand out flyers.
Did you tease his hair
Yeah.
and tie his shirt up and put makeup on?
No, I did not torture him like you tortured me, Amy, but thanks for bringing that up. And you did. You smiled on his face, handed out the flyers, was trying to sell tickets, would hit me up online. Is there anything else I could do for you? And look, now here you are today.
Oh, thank you.
Dressed us nicely back then, though.
I know, right? And we had Boyertown, getting lost up in Hickville and everything.
Yes. Yeah, we saw more cows in those days than we did wrestling
And less
fans.
teeth.
Yeah, well.
Summer tea, summer here, summer there.
Yeah,
Summer this way, summer this way.
Now, what inspired you to become a professional wrestler?
It was something I always watched when I was a kid. And if I was to psychoanalyze, I'll psychoanalyze it for you. My parents were divorced when I was 4. My dad was left to raise 4 daughters by himself. He owned his own business, so he was hardly ever home. But he was a huge, avid wrestling fan. We got to say bye to Heidi. She has to get back to her.
Heidi, thank you very much.
One, take it easy.
Get a hold of you if they want to book you to make appearances and stuff. Facebook?
Facebook, Heidi Lee Morgan on Facebook. Anyone can hit me up, and I normally just automatically say accept, and just put what you want, and I will respond to you. Okay? Have a great one.
Talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Sorry, she had to get back to her table. I love you. I'm going to finish this. So, because my dad owned his own business and had 4 daughters, poor him, there wasn't a lot of, bonding time that we had with our dad, where it was, one-on-one. My dad was a huge wrestling fan. So I think as a little girl, I was like, okay, well, if I have to sit here and watch wrestling to hang out with my dad, that's what I'll do. And I fell in love with it. And I fell in love with it. So part of me thinks that I got into wrestling to, impress, make my dad proud. But it was something that, even after I grew out of being that little girl, it was just something I always watched. Of course, it was also the catalyst for a bunch of really bad fights between me and my dad. The one day it was Dusty Rhodes versus Tully Blanchard with Colonel Parker in a first blood match. And I was sitting Indian style in the living room. My dad's office was right behind our living room, and he'd come out to go to the bathroom. He comes back, and of course Tully cheated. Dusty got him first. Dusty got Tully first. The ref was down. Colonel Parker passes in that sock full of nickels. Bam. Ref gets up, sees Dusty. Dusty loses. I start hysterically crying. I'm hysterically crying. My dad's walking back from the bathroom, and he looks in the living room and he goes, "What are you crying over?" And I'm like, Dusty should have won, but what happened was, and my dad starts laughing, and he goes into the room. And I got so upset at my dad, I didn't speak to him for a week after that because they laughed at me while I was crying because Dusty lost. And then I remember when my dad tried to have the wrestling is fake conversation with me. Yeah, that was 2 weeks I didn't speak to my father after I called him a blatant liar.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised I still have my head on my shoulders after that, but yeah.
Now, first off, I want to say thank you very much for coming with us today.
Sweetie.
Thank you for everything from the
having me.
beginning. And
Still trying to finish my coffee.
any last words for the fans out there?
Yeah, support wrestling, support women's wrestling, support indie wrestling, just support wrestling in general.
And of course, Completely Damaged too, right?
Yeah, and of course support Completely Damaged Radio. I do. If I do it, you should.
You should definitely. So guys, thank you for this interview, and we'll see you soon, guys.
Bye.